Back in 2014, that's how slow I am, I was actually talking to my brother, who actually has the special needs child in our family. So his name is Soren. He has severe autism. They lived in Asia at the time, and we were Skyping over the internet, and he goes, Mark, you've been successful with corporate America, you've been successful with rental businesses. I want you to create a business model that provides short and long-term opportunities for adults with special needs. That doesn't exist today. And that was the genesis of Wigglewow. So I just prayed about it because I didn't know what he's like. His idea was, hey, over here it looks like cupcake and muffin shops are on the boom. That's what we need to do, start a cupcake and muffin shop. And I just didn't see myself getting out of bed going, yes, let's make some cupcakes and muffins today. Or then he brought up maybe a candy store. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's pump everyone with sugar. That makes me feel real good. And so I prayed about it, and it was actually my bride who said, you should do something dog related. And that's what started the whole premise of Wigglewow. So the other thing, what a lot of people don't realize is, one of the things my brother helped me, they lived with us for 9 months, and people think they know what it's like for a family with a special needs member, but until you've lived it, you have no idea. Most of us, when we get home, you think you're on, while you're at work, and then when you get home, you can decompress, right? Kick back, watch TV, whatever you want to do. Well, that's not true with the family that has a special needs member. They have to be on 24/7 all the time, and in some cases they're up all night helping take care of their sons or daughters, and so one of the things he helped me understand is he said, I can't tell you how many times a year I can't go to sleep at night because I'm haunted by the fear of who's going to take care of my son when I die. And that's not anything I had ever lost any sleep over. I've been to a war zone in the Air Force, lost sleep over that, but never over who's going to take care of my son or daughter. And so that's when we decided to come up with a business model that when God blesses this and it starts taking off, we're actually going to sell Wigglewow franchises. And 90% of all Wigglewow franchise owners must be a family that has an immediate member with special needs. And the reason why we're for-profit is because that family then, because it's a for-profit business, can put it in a trust and will that to their son or daughter so that when they die, there's a financial machine that will continue to take care of them after they're gone. If we were a non-profit, that opportunity doesn't exist. So that's why Wigglewow is a for-profit. There are thousands of families, multiple times a year, praying that God would give them an opportunity financially to care for their son or daughter when they're gone. As a matter of fact, I have one of my parents, he goes, what's the first bill I pay every month? It's my life insurance. And it's something most of us can't relate to. So actually, I've already designed a $2 million dog facility, which is why we bought the property here, that does everything that a dog owner would want. So we would have daycare to care for your dog, we would have boarding, we'd have a veterinarian on site. The veterinarian would also be a surgeon, so whether it be rehab, physical therapy for dogs, we'd have a professional groomer, professional photographer, professional trainer, and we will have a shuttle service that will pick your dog up and drop it off the same day. When we open that up, we'll have the opportunity to employ 200 people a week with special needs. However, Mark Pfeifer doesn't have this huge pot of money to build this facility. And so when I approached the bank about it, they said I had to put my personal home up as collateral. And so I talked to my bride about that, and she's like, I don't think that we're gonna do that. You and God need to figure out a plan B. And so I prayed about it, and that's when God put in my heart, do dog treats. And if you think about what an amazing idea, because it'll be so much easier to expand nationwide quicker making dog treats than it will be building these huge mega dog facilities. So we're gonna go nationwide with dog treats first. Then we're going to come back and we'll open the big dog facilities. So that's why dog treats. There is a groomer that's in southern Indiana. There is a Russian grocery store that's near GE Appliance Park. Our best seller is the popcorn station, which is right here in J-Town, just a few miles down the road. Both Pet Wants franchises here in Louisville sell our treats, as well as the Clever Canine Training Facility offer our treats.
And there's any major chain grocery stores yet?
So no, and so the biggest challenge I have with any of the big box places is one is they want me to sell our treats to them below what our cost is. And so when they so like for example, our $10 bag of treats, they want me to sell it to them for $6, and I'm like, well, my cost is $6.37. And they're like, well, your costs are too high, you need to bring your costs down. Well, the reason why Wigglewow costs are so high is because of the labor. I start people like Mac off at $8.50 an hour, which is $1.25 more than minimum wage, and I'm not going to cut that. The whole purpose of us of us existing is creating these opportunities. Does Mac care what he makes? Absolutely not. But you know what? Mark Pfeifer does. And they're worth just as much as anyone else. God made us all for a purpose, and their purpose is to help Wigglewow make dog treats. So that's why we won't be any big box stores right away. But who knows if they'll be willing to work with us in the future. There's what's the name of the school? There's a school in Frankfurt that's a private school for adults with special needs. And we will be partnering with them for sure because they have a great population and they're very interested in what we're doing. Man, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. That's what happens when you get old like me. But that's okay. So yes, we will be. We already have people. I mean, I've had people that reached out that want the rights to Wigglewow in Canada, that want the rights to Wigglewow in Korea, the one in the United Kingdom, and also Germany. Oh, they find me. So what people don't realize, I mean, we have 42 people that have adults with special needs on our waiting list to become an Epic Chef to come in and make the treats. Unfortunately, we don't have enough sales right now where we can hire all of them. But one day we will, and what people don't understand is that once one of these individuals falls off the map, we say, when they graduate from high school at the age of 21, that's when they're forced out of the system, in most cases there's nothing for them. They can go to school, they can get their life skills training, but most employers aren't willing to give them a chance. They see them as a risk and liability. And that's what I love about this mission God has me on, is we're going to blow everyone else away, because they have no, I mean, you have already met Mac. I mean, how can you have a bad day when you work with someone like Mac all day long? The spiritual blessings are just unbelievable. It's awesome. So yeah, people find us. Just the population is very tight, and word gets out when there's a good employer that's hiring folks and providing opportunities. But what a lot of people don't realize, the federal government actually gives businesses the opportunity to pay based on the individual's performance compared to someone without a special need. So, Lauren, for example, you and I, if we were both bagging groceries, if I had the special need and you didn't, and you could bag 10 bags of groceries in an hour, and let's say a minimum wage was $10, and I could only do 3, the grocery store technically could legally pay me $3 an hour, where they would be required to pay you 10. Wigglewow chooses to not do that, right? And so that's why so many parents love what we're doing also, is because we see the worth in every one of our Epic staff, every one of our employees. So, there's no, everything you've had for breakfast. So there's oats we grind into oat flour, bacon we grind into little tiny bacon pieces, eggs, and salt and water. That's it.
All natural.
It's natural. So right now, our shelf life is 5 months, and it's actually, turns out I have testing being done right now, so it's actually longer than that, I'm finding out. But I just had never had a test lab. My test lab was my pantry at home. And so I knew they lasted like 8 or 9 months for sure in there, but my dogs would always eat them before the test was done. So, God put some amazing people in my path. There's Louisville, Kentucky is not a booming industry for the dog food or dog treat business, but the guy that invented Science Diet's first dog treat retired in Louisville. And one of my Epic delivery people saw that her neighbor got a new puppy, so she gave him some free sample treats to try. Her name's Erica. She has Down syndrome. And so Steve, the customer, bought a bag of treats from Erica. So when Erica and her dad went to deliver the treats to Steve, Steve said, I need to know your owner's information, contact information. And the dad was like, why? Did we do something wrong? He said, no. He goes, I have 3 decades of experience in this industry, and I think I can help him out. And so he has actually turned us on to an all-natural preservative that we currently have under test right now, and will be done in May. And so by July, we'll have new labeling and everything, and we will be able to still have natural dog treats with a natural preservative that isn't harmful for your dog at all, that can actually sit on the shelf for up to 1.5 years and still be fine. So It had a huge impact on us. So up to March last year, we had 9 active staff that were Epic chefs in the doghouse. They would rotate, work different shifts. No one would work full time. They would work different hours. And then when that hit, sales dropped off so much, and parents rightfully so, because this population is very vulnerable to getting, diseases, whatever, the pandemic, COVID. And I'm hypersensitive and very careful myself, because the last thing I want is for any of our staff to get sick because of Wigglewow. So we changed our procedures where before I was trying to teach everyone everything, and we could have 5 to 6 people working in the doghouse. Today, I pretty much make most of the treats, and then the staff comes in, our Epic staff with their parents or helper, CLS worker, and they actually bag their own treats and weigh them and seal them just like you saw Mac do. So right now, there's actually only 2 Epic chefs that are willing to work because their parents are comfortable. But God willing, when we get to our new space and we have more space around us where we can social distance, more parents will be more comfortable about being able to start working. And sales will kick in as well then, hopefully too. So a couple things. So you mentioned where you could get the treats locally. You can also buy them online at wigglewow.com. If you're in the Louisville area, you can actually, instead of paying the shipping, because the post office charges an enormous amount to ship the treats, right? So God put on my heart, he's like, there's a special needs family in every subdivision, in every city, all across America. Because why don't you pay them to deliver in their own subdivision? So what we do is there's an option when you go online to actually get local delivery. Now right now it's only available in Louisville, but it costs $3 regardless whether you buy 1 bag or 100 bags. And all $3 minus federal and state taxes goes to our Epic delivery person that actually will deliver the treats to you. And Wigglewow is just so much more than making treats. I mean, the testimonies from the parents and the staff is just unbelievable. I mean, my number 2 sales guy can't speak a word, and he just walks up, his name's Terrence, he walks up to people with his big old smile, all of his doctors, his physical therapists, everything, just hands them a sign-up sheet, and they just buy from him. I mean, he's amazing. And it's truly about transforming lives, and it's an awesome journey. All I could ask is that people help get the word out about Wigglewow. If you care about what goes in your dog's body and you care about helping a population maybe you never knew in the past how you could, Wigglewow is a great opportunity to do all that.